Yes, today we are going to look at the treble staff. But before that, I want to highlight some few important terms that we need to get. One of them is pitch, the other one is staff, the other one is clef, the other one is ledger, and then finally the treble staff. I want to start with the word pitch. Pitch means highness or lowness of a sound. Highness or lowness of a sound. That is the definition of the word pitch. Now, staff is a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces on which notated music is written. A set of what? Set of 5 lines and 4 spaces. I will explain further as I continue the lesson. So, a staff is a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces on which notated music is written. Now, I also want to look at clef. Clef is a symbol. That is the first thing you should note. A clef is a symbol drawn at the beginning of a music composition to guide on pitching. It is the clef that guides us on what are the pitches of a certain note. If a note is written on this, is drawn like a crochet drawn on the 3rd line, what is its pitch? It is the clef that guides us on how to pitch the notes on staff. We have the G clef, we have the F clef, we also have the C clef. This one you can call it again tenor clef. This one you can call it bass clef. The bass clef. This one you can call it treble clef. So those are alternative names. The G clef, treble clef, F clef, the bass clef, and the C clef is the tenor clef. So those are the clefs. I also remove that. I want to again look at the word ledger, and I want to add the word ledger line. Ledger lines are short lines. They are short lines drawn below or above the staff to accommodate the pitches outside the staff. And these pitches are too low or too high. Too high pitches. Too low or too high pitches. I'll also demonstrate in a diagram what a ledger line is, but from this definition, you already know what is a staff, and then the ledger line is either above or below the staff. The work of a ledger line is to help us notate the pitches which are too high or too low, that are not falling within the staff. Now, the last thing is a treble staff. Treble staff is a staff that displays a G clef or treble clef at the beginning of a music composition. When I describe this in words, it looks somehow complex, but when I start using a diagram, you'll find it very, very easy. And because our topic today is a treble staff, we have said a treble staff first is a staff. Now, from definition, we said a staff is a set of 5 lines. 5 lines, and those 5 lines also give us 4 spaces. We name the lines from down: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not the other way. This is not line 1, it is line 5. This one is line 1. So we name the lines from bottom up. Now we also name the spaces from bottom up. So this is space 1, space 2, space 3, space 4. Don't name them from top, bottom. It is the other way around. You name them bottom up, from bottom upward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Now, this is what we call a staff. The word staff alone. And from the definition, we said it's a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces. That is what we call staff. Now, from that staff, from this definition, we have said treble staff is a staff first that displays a G clef or treble clef at the beginning of the music. Remember, G clef and treble clef. is the same thing. The same thing. Now, what we need to know next is, what is this clef? From the definition, we said a clef is a symbol. That was the word. A clef is a symbol. And I want to show you how it looks like. So I want to extend that staff so that it can serve the purpose. Now, this is how we draw the G clef, treble clef, and when you combine a treble clef and staff, it gives what we call treble staff. So it is quite complicated as you start, but it will be very simple as we move on. That's how we draw it. Now I want to take you step by step. I want to take you step by step. So just slightly above the 50 line, start a straight line from there and move downwards. And slightly after the last line, turn it leftwards. That is step 1. From top of that line, draw a P that crosses the line at the 4th line. So you start from here and you draw a P. Remember, the P meets this line at the 4th line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from there you draw a C. So a P and a C. That goes up to the 1st line. And then from there, when you pick it from there, you go up to the 3rd line. 3rd line, you turn and end immediately, you touch the 2nd line, like that. I repeat again, slightly above the 5th line, straight line, slightly after the last line, turn it left, a P and a C. Then when you pick from the C, go up to the 3rd line now. 3rd line, touch it, then drop. Immediately you cross the 2nd line, stop there. Don't extend. Don't extend. Immediately you cross that line, you stop there. Can I draw the last time? Slightly above the 5th line, draw a straight line. Turn it left. A P and a C. Then from that C, continue up to the 3rd line. Turn it. Immediately you cross the 2nd line to stop. Stop at that. Now, draw a staff and try repeating that process 10 times, and you are going to be able to get the G clef. So this is, if I may now stick to our topic, is treble staff. So just draw a staff like that. You draw a staff like that, and P and C and the 3rd line, 2nd line, you stop. This is what we call as treble staff, just as staff displaying G clef or treble clef. Now, we finish by something very small here, which is naming spaces and lines on a treble staff. Treble staff. So we start with the staff itself. And we include the clef, a B and a C, and that line stop. Immediately you touch the second line. That is the G clef. Now, if you study this clef, it revolves around the second line. It cuts the second line 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So the name of this line is G. So when you get the name of that line, we normally name lines and spaces in treble staff using the first 7 letters of the alphabet. The first 7 letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is no H. So we use the first 7 letters to name the lines and spaces. So on treble staff, this is how we name the lines and the spaces. This second line is the one that guides us. It's G. So this space is A. This line is B. This space is C. This line is D. This space is E. And this line is F. So we name line, space, line, space, line, space without skipping those letters. But when we go backwards, this space is F. And the first line is E, like that. So it is E, F, G, and because there is no H, you go back to A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you continue, you can go to G. And so that is how we name the lines and the spaces. Now, for the spaces, you will notice they spell the word face. Space 1, space 2, space 3, space 4. Let's confirm. Space 1 is F, space 2 is A, space 3 is C, space 4 is E. So they spell the word face on our treble staff. For the line, they are abbreviations for every good boy does fine. Look at that. Every, the first line is E. Every, the second line is G. Good. The third one is B. Boy. Fourth one is D. Does. Last one is F. Fine. Just these two can help us to remember the lines and the spaces. But remember, even if you cannot remember these slogans and abbreviations, you are able to know the second line is always G when you see this symbol of a G clef. If you know the second line is G, then it can guide you to get the other letters. When you go forward, it is G, A, B, C, D. If you go backwards, it's F, G. So E, F. You just use those letters in order in which they appear in alphabets. The last thing I want to mention is the ledger lines. We say the ledger lines are short lines that are drawn above or below the staff. operate notes which are outside the staff. Now, remember, this is E. We may have a D here and a C. So this C does not appear within the staff. It is outside. So we have to put a ledger there, and the ledgers can be as many as possible. Some other ledgers can even be here, and we can continue naming them. If this last line is F, then this space is G, this line ledger is A, this space is B, this ledger is C. You can continue naming them like that. This last line is F, space G, ledger A, B, C. You can move on like that, and the order of the letters does not change. So that when you operate within a ledger, we are outside the normal staff. So any note that appears outside the staff, or this set of 5 lines and 5 spaces, is written on a ledger, or on a space between 2 ledgers, or on a space between the last line of the staff and a ledger. Like this G is between the last line, 5th line, and this ledger. But on the ledger itself, it's A. We just name the ledgers and the spaces between them just the way we name the lines and spaces within the staff. So, with those many remarks, that makes the end of our lesson on treble staff. We have gotten some terms. We have also known what is a treble staff. Why is it treble? Because it has a treble clef or G clef. And the names of the lines and the spaces will be like that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for some more lessons on music theory. This is Chris TM Music on TikTok and YouTube. You can also search Shalom Music Hub. Shalom Music Hub on Facebook. You can also interact with us there, and we shall learn more. See you in the next lesson.